there's a lot of things we've got to get done with a lot of precision and accuracy when we're making an acoustic guitar. Not least of which is to make sure that when it comes time to glue the bridge to the soundboard, we get it in exactly the right place so that it plays in tune and the saddle is in the right place for the scale length that we're using. So one way we could do that is we could grab a steel ruler and we could measure the distance from the 12th fret or from the nut to where the front of the saddle needs to be, and we do the mathematics and work out what the compensation is, and then we'll get it more or less where it should be. And we did that for a number of years until one day a student glued his bridge to the guitar, and life was looking pretty rosy until we came time to check the tuning. And it turned out that he had measured from the 11th fret, not from the 12th fret. So that got me thinking, how can we prevent this? And we came up with the idea of these clever little templates from guitartemplates.com.au, and these are used to make sure that when we do put the bridge on the guitar, it's in exactly the right place. And they include some simple but clever little ideas to make sure we're using the right template for the scale length, and that we have got the right frets lined up and we're not out of whack by a fret, which is possible, or even half a fret. So let me show you how they work. Here are the new bridge saddle locating jigs from Guitar Templates. They come in a range of scale lengths, including 650 for a nylon string and classical guitars, and a range of steel string guitars. And of course, like all templates from Guitar Templates, if you've got a custom scale length, they can be made to order. Looking at the template in front of us, this is for a steel string guitar. It's for a 24 5/8 or 625.5mm scale length. Compensation on the center line has been set at 3mm, and the front of the bridge to the front of the saddle is 6mm. What do we mean by front? Well, front is the headstock facing surface. So if we look up at this end, you'll see there's a line marked front of bridge, there's a line marked scale length, and a line marked front of saddle. These correspond to the front of the bridge. Scale length is halfway between there and the front of the saddle. So when the jig is placed over the saddle, those three lines line up when the saddle and when the bridge are in the right location on your guitar. Let's have a look at how that works. So on this demonstration guitar, I've chosen the 625.5, that's 24 5/8" scale length. The guitar has the body joint is at the 12th fret, so this is the 12th, this is the 14th, and we've marked where the center line is and approximately where we think the front of the bridge is going to sit, but that's just approximate. Now let's take our jig and place it on the fretboard. So we've placed the jig and we've lined the 12th fret line up with the crown of the 12th fret, and we can see that the 14th fret also lines up. The line lines up with the 14th fret. But if you look really closely, you'll see that in fact it doesn't. It doesn't line up with the actual crown of the fret. So placing the bridge and the saddle in the correct position for intonation is vital. And this is something where we need multiple checks to make sure that everything's in the right place. Even that slight misalignment is telling me I'm either using the wrong template or that fret's not in the right place. So let's have another look. So I've flipped the template around and I've aligned the 12th fret line with the 12th fret again. That 14th fret line is not relevant for that fret because I've lined it up coming down the fretboard, and if I'm using the right scale length, the line in the middle marked scale length should be lining up with the end of my fretboard here, and as you can see it's off by looks like about 4 or 5 millimeters. So I'm definitely using the wrong template for this guitar. So now I'm going to check the scale length and go again. So it turns out this guitar has a 24.9 inch scale length, or 632.5, and now when we line up the 12th and the 14th frets, they line up exactly. And now we're able to see that when the bridge is properly positioned, the line marking front of bridge lines with the front of the bridge, and importantly the front of the saddle is also in the right place. And with a little bit of work to make sure that the bridge is centered and square to the center line, we're ready to locate the bridge. So these templates from guitartemplates.com.au are just fantastic for making sure that you get the bridge and indeed the saddle of your acoustic guitar in the right place.